Well, they finally did it. Webull has announced fractional shares. On this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to buy a fractional share on the Webull brokerage app. Now, there's a couple things that we need to look at. First and foremost, they do now offer fractional shares, but it's a little bit weird. And we need to go over that. First, we're going to start off by buying a fractional share on Webull. I'm going to get that out of the way first because I know that's why you came to this video. Number two, we're going to talk a little bit about the weird parts of this new fractional share opportunity within Webull and what you need to know. Number three, we're going to talk about instant buying power. If you transfer money in today, what does that look like? And do they actually offer instant buying power? And we're going to talk about the future. We're going to talk about dividend reinvestment program and everything in between. If you're ready to get started, all I ask, just simply don't be dumb, tap the thumb on this video. Let's get started. So let's say, for instance, I want to buy VTI. It's a great ETF, and you can see that the price of it right now is $225.24 per share, which means back in the day, I would have had to put up for one share $225. You can see my cash balance is $19.27. So I don't have enough to buy a full share of $225, but I can now buy a fraction of the share. As long as it's over $5, I can buy some of the VTI, and that's exactly what we're going to do. The first step is I'm going to jump into VTI. You can see this is my current position, but I'm going to click on quotes right down here at the bottom. The thing I want to look for is right here at the top. Right here at the top, you're going to see the green icon. What that represents is fractional shares are enabled. There are certain shares that are not enabled for fractional shares, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But I'm going to click on trade right at the bottom of the screen. Click on trade. You might be like, well, wait a minute. This is quite odd. I'm trying to buy a fractional share at the market price, which is what I'm allowed to do. But if I hit right here, there's no decimal point. What am I doing? And I can't do 1 because 1 would equal, as you can see down here, $225. Here's what you got to do. Get ready. Here's the answer to all your problems. Click on it where it says market. This could be a temporary workaround, and hopefully they'll fix this in the future, but this is what we got to do right now. Click on order type where it says market. You're going to see it says fractional shares trading enabled. All you got to do is, yet again, just tap on it. And there is what you need. I think they're going to fix this. This is likely a bug, but all you have to do is go from whole share to fractional share. And there you go. Now, you have to have a minimum of $5. This is a little bit wonky, my friend, because what we have to do is we can't just come in here and type in how much money we want to spend. Unlike Public App, unlike Robinhood, where you could say, I have $5 and I just want to put $5 toward this stock, no matter what that fraction of the share would be, you can't do that here in Webull. What you have to do is literally type in the fraction that you want to buy. It's kind of a little bit weird, like if I want to buy 0.08. See what I mean? And then you can look down here at the bottom. You see the estimated amount, $18.02. Okay. Now, what I could do, because I know I have $19 in my account, I could just keep coming up. Oh, no, I can't do that. Maybe I could do 0.85. There, $19.15, 0.085. Let's execute this and see what happens. So you can see I'm going to get 0.085 of VTI, which typically goes for $225 on market value. My estimated amount will be $19.15. I'm going to hit buy. It's going to come up with a addendum. This is probably temporary as well, but it's kind of going over the details behind fractional shares. It also lets you know that the clearinghouse will not accept an order if it's less than $5. So don't try to sneak in a buy order for $1. You got to have a minimum right now, as of the recording of this video, of $5. I'm going to hit I agree, and there it is, my order confirmation. I'm going to buy 0.85 or 0.085 at the market price. It'll cost about $19, confirm. And there we go. Let's see what it looks like in the home screen, in my main brokerage account. In order to do that, I'll click on the center icon here, and we'll be back. And right there it is, guys. Look at that. Right now, VTI, it shows 5.085 shares of VTI. You can see my cash balance is now 13 cents. So this is looking pretty darn cool. Fractional shares, finally. Now, I mentioned there are some ETFs, and there are some stocks that are not enabled for fractional shares. Right now, I don't see an easy way to do this other than coming over here to the watch list and doing a simple search. So for example, you know my favorite one is Apple. So I'm going to search Apple. AAPL is the ticker symbol of Apple. I'll click on this. And then right there at the top, you do see the little green icon. You see what I'm talking about right there? If I click on it, right there it says fractional shares trading enabled. So Apple I can buy in fractional shares. Here's one that I know is not, and I know a lot of you want to get this one because a lot of people get excited about You know what it is, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. A lot of people like that stock because it just sounds super sexy. You'll see what I mean in a minute if you're not familiar with this one. I'm gonna type in Berkshire Hathaway. There it is, BRK-A. Look at the going price for this one. Oh man, look at that. $419,985 per share. I wonder if anybody in Webull owns a share of this one. If you do, hats off to you because your value is at least worth $419,000. But look at the side where I was showing you the icons. You can see there's no green icon. You know what that means? No ability for fractional share trades on Berkshire Hathaway, at least at this time. Not sure what will happen in the future, but that's what's going on right now. Now, if I hit on trade and I want to buy a Berkshire Hathaway, I got to be very, very cautious about that. Although I won't even be able to buy one because I don't have any cash or margin available for this. So if I click on market, you can see it says buy security at the market price. There's not that green outline that said fractional share trading enabled. So that's a second way that you can verify if the particular stock or ETF that you're interested in has fractional share trading enabled or not. So that means that, I don't have my little whole or fraction right down here at the bottom, and look, I'm out of luck. Boo. How disappointing. Hey, if anybody has $420,000 they just have lying around and you want to donate a free share of Berkshire Hathaway to me, I'd be more than happy to take it. Just kidding. Okay, so that is exactly what a fractional share buy and how to determine if your particular stock or ETF is enabled for fractional shares. But let's move on to what this will look like when you first go into your Webull account. Now, if you don't have a Webull account, click the link down below in the description. You can get up to 2, 3, 4 stocks, depending on the promotion that they're running, simply just for signing up and then more stocks for depositing. So check out whatever promotion they're running at this time by using the link down in the description. So here's what you'll see once you have everything set up, at least right now. It'll say fractional share trading is coming, and it'll give you a little bit of an explanation on what's going on. And then it's going to say make your first deposit or transfer in. So if I make a deposit, and I will say it's a little weird, it says make your first deposit. Been using Webull for quite a long time now. It's not my first deposit, but I'm going to put in $10. I just want to transfer in $10 as a deposit. You can do whatever you want to do. But what about instant buying power? A lot of people get confused on instant buying power, and this is especially important with fractional shares. But look what it's telling us right here. It says it can take up to 5 business days to show up in your account. So, of course, first of all, you need to make sure your checking account or whatever account you're transferring your money from has the money available. You don't want to have a check bounce. Let's say everything's fine there. The problem is you got to wait 5 days for this to happen. So if I go over here to transfers, you can see right down here at the bottom, it says the estimated arrival time is 7/19. Now today's date is 7/13. That's 6 days I have to wait for $10 to show up. What about the instant buying power? A lot of you are familiar with that in public. A lot of you are familiar with that in Robinhood and things like that. What about Webull? It doesn't give me that. Oh, yes, it does. Just like fractional shares, though, it's a little bit weird. Here's how it works. So I hope this video is helpful to you. Here's what's going on. What you'll do is you'll see a cash balance of 13 cents. Now, I'm transferring $10 in. So I do have $10 of instant buying power. Here's how it would work. I would do a quick trade, and I can trade now either fractionally, or I can decide I want to just say, oh, I don't know, maybe buy a share of stock that's $10 or less. It's totally up to whatever you want to do. But what'll happen is your cash balance will go negative. So if I decide I want to go ahead and buy something with that instant buying power, you will see your cash balance in the negative until that deposit settles from whatever bank account that you're transferring your money in from. So just keep that in mind. It's going to feel a little bit weird, but that's how it works for now. Now, what about the future? When it comes down to Webull, ever since I started talking about this app and using this app, I had little jabs in my YouTube videos, such as, why don't we have fractional shares? Well, now we do. Why don't we have the ability to have instant buying power? Well, we kind of do. It's just a little bit confusing. But here's what I would say. First question is going to be dividend reinvestment program, otherwise known as DRIP. Does Webull offer DRIP? Right now, Webull does not offer dividend reinvestment program. Now, if you're watching this video far in the future, make sure you look below. I will pin a comment from myself at the top that's not one of those annoying spam comments never fall for those. But I will actually put a comment if there is an update to the dividend reinvestment program. Right now, there's not. So unlike fractional shares, which I thought, okay, well, fractional shares, couldn't you then offer dividend reinvestment? Well, unfortunately, they do not. So we're stuck with that. It is what it is. We gotta wait, but not all is lost. Hopefully soon we will get their act together and get the dividend reinvestment up as the next awesome feature that they can introduce. I'd also like to see instant buying power be a little bit more understandable for the user. Instead of having your cash balance go negative, which freaks people out, and I totally understand why, it kind of freaks me out. I would recommend that they have it a little bit more clear, just like the other brokerage apps do. That I can look in it and say, okay, I know exactly, even though I don't have the cash out of my bank account yet, I know I have a provisional credit. I know I have that money that Webull's giving to me that I can use to buy stocks, and things don't seem confusing. That would just be nice. So give us drip, give us instant buying power, and then give us someday the ability to buy fractional shares with dollars. I think that's easier for beginners, especially if you only have that $5 or that $10 or even that $12.45, whatever it is. It's easier to say, I want to buy a share of XYZ company, and I want to be able to say my $12.45 goes directly into company XYZ. And I don't want to figure it out and try to like go up and down with the fractional share meter just to try to land right on that $12. That's way too confusing. Just make it have the ability in the future to be able to put your dollars into the fractional share. That would make it easy. Now, a lot of questions are coming up about fractional shares and dividends. Let's say you buy into an ETF or a stock that pays you dividends. What happens if you buy a fraction instead of a full share? Well, what it would do is it still gives you that dividend, only it splits it up based on the share that you own. I'm gonna pull up my iPhone screen and hopefully this will make sense and hopefully I don't screw up the math here on this. But let's say, for example, a company pays 15 cents for every share that you own. So if you had one share of company XYZ and they pay you 15 cents per share every month in a dividend, you'd obviously get 15 cents every month as long as you only have one share. But what if you only have 0.5 shares? Well, then you would split that in half. So 0.15, 15 cents, divided by 2 is 0.075. So you'd roughly get about 7 cents instead of 15 cents for your fraction of the share. So however much you own in that fraction, divide that up, and then if that company does pay you dividends, you'll get it, just not in the amount of the full share, of course. And if it's less than a penny, you're gonna have to accumulate it up, of course, to make at least 1 penny or more. If you have any questions, comment down below. If there's anything else you wanna see on the Webull app, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll follow up with a future video. But until next time, here's a video that can help you with your personal finance journey. Here's a video YouTube thinks you're gonna like. Keep living your sweet life, and we'll see you on the next video.